VR technologies stimulate flight and dreams. How to get rid of the sleep paralysis demon. Are lucid dreams good for us? And other news. Welcome to Face Today. This is the first news media about lucid dreams, sleep paralysis, and other phase states. Are you ready? VR technologies stimulate flight and dreams. Flying in a dream is both pleasure and an unforgettable experience. Such dreams, as a rule, are rare and few people can repeat them consciously. However, a team of scientists from the Department of Neuroscience and University of Montreal in Canada, led by Claudia Picardellet, are claiming that VR technology can help us to solve this problem. In a study published in August 2020 in the journal Consciousness and Cognition, the scientists managed to stimulate dream flight using virtual reality. The 137 participants in the experiment were asked to virtually fly around vast landscapes for 15 minutes, creating a certain motion trajectory. After completing the task, the participants went to sleep for 2 hours. The reports showed a fourfold increase in the frequency of flight dreams during laboratory sleep and in the 10 days following the experiment. The quality of flight and dreams was also affected by the exposure to virtual reality. Participants noted a higher level of control and a more emotional experience. However, the most interesting fact was those participants who reported having lucid dreams prior to the experiment were more likely to experience dream flight following the VR priming, in some cases during lucid dreaming. Researchers attribute the result to the illusion of self-movement phenomenon, wherein our body feels like it's moving without any signs of external motion. It is a common feeling we get when looking at objects moving near us, for example, a tram outside the window or cars in a traffic jam. Though the use of VR technology, the feeling of flight was produced precisely via the visible motion of the virtual landscape. Our vestibular apparatus remembers this motion and interprets it as the ability to fly without any external equipment, repeating it in a dream. How your culture affects perception of sleep paralysis. Those who are unfamiliar with the causes of sleep paralysis, muscle atrophy on the verge of sleep, often describe this phenomenon as a paranormal experience. Sleep paralysis is experienced by 8 to 30% of the population, and although treatment of this condition is yet to be developed, it is important to know the physiological underpinnings of this state in order to avoid panicking or succumbing to the influence of popular lore. For example, in an article published in November 2020 in the Journal of International Youth Neuroscience Association, author Alhassan Bangura conducted a cultural historical analysis of the phenomenon over the past 350 years. The discovery of sleep paralysis in a clinical setting is credited to the Dutch physician Ysbrand van Denbroek in 1664. He was also the first person to mention the presence of an incubus, attributing demonic implications to sleep paralysis. This term has become entrenched in Europe culture, imbuing patients' stories about the night strangler with supernatural horror. 300 years later, the supernatural aura surrounding sleep paralysis was once again revived due to the outbreak of sudden night death syndrome in Laos in Southeast Asia. The Hmong community attributed the phenomenon to evil Dabtsog, the night hag, spirits strangling their victims at night. The Egyptians believe that sleep paralysis is a case of being attacked by jinns. In Japan, a similar demon renders the sleeper powerless. In Western India, the state of sleep paralysis corresponds to a trance in which a person cannot move because a ghost or spirit is passing through their body. African Americans, on the other hand, believe they are being immobilized by witches. Sleep paralysis is a recurring phenomenon throughout history and across cultures, each attributing a different religious connotation or mythological origin to the occurrence. However, contrary to these beliefs, there is a scientific explanation for such visions: partial loss of muscle movement, primarily eyelids and mouth, during the transitional stage of sleep, is accompanied by hallucinations which are interpreted in a state of fear as the presence of a demonic being or other mythological entities. Those who know a little more about this phenomenon may even experience pleasant sleep paralysis. Does electrical stimulation induce lucid dreams? In 2014, a sensational study was published by German scientists led by Ursula Voss. It claimed to have successfully induced lucid dreaming using transcranial AC stimulation. Electrical stimulation using 40 Hz frequency current was applied during REM sleep to raise the normally slow activity of the sleeping brain to a frequency close to wakefulness. Until recently, no one has attempted to reproduce the study's result to corroborate the method's effectiveness. However, in August 2020, researchers from the Dream and Nightmare Laboratory in Montreal published data from a new experiment with similar inputs to determine if a 40 Hz frequency could induce dream lucidity during sleep. All participants were invited to a sleep laboratory where they went through two procedures. On the first day during daytime sleep, the technicians applied stimulation in the REM sleep phase, while on the second day, the participants slept without stimulation. They were then woken up, asked to share their experiences. One of the important differences from the previous experiment was the use of the method of registering lucid dreams by monitoring eye movement. The study results were based on reports and recordings of 27 daytime AC stimulated dreams and 23 non-stimulated dreams. In the former category, 5 participants became aware of themselves in a dream, which was successfully confirmed by eye movement recordings. The latter category, however, also contained 4 lucid dreams. Thus, the experiment casts doubt on whether electrical stimulation can have an impact on the incidence of lucid dreams. Perhaps this is why not one single effective device based on this technology has yet been developed. The research was published in magazine Consciousness and Cognition. Famous journalist reveals how to get rid of a demon based on personal experience. Men's Health journalist Mark Hay, in the article published in November 2020, shared his experience in dealing with sleep paralysis, which may be of interest to many lucid dreaming practitioners. After all, this main cure was based on methods of phase state induction. Mark had his first experience of sleep paralysis at the age of 16. When he woke up one night and realized he could not move. Panicking, he noticed a shadowy figure at the side of his bed. Over his 10-year battle with this intruder, Mark had not made any significant progress using the meditation and sleep hygiene treatments his doctors had advised him. With every instance of stress, the attacks of paralysis intensified, and their frequency went up to several times a week, until the journalist's friend advised him to look his demon in the eye. Mark reached out to a well-known researcher, Denalm Aspey from the University of Adelaide, who has been helping people overcome recurring nightmares for many years. Aspey suggested that Mark try to sleep out a state of sleep paralysis into a lucid dream using a very simple technique. Asking his demon a few questions, such as, "Why are you here? What do you want to teach me? What do you need? How can I make peace with you?" According to the researcher, once people start to dialogue or make a decision in a dream, they no longer have nightmares. This is because they can overcome their fear in the dream or during sleep paralysis through awareness, that is, direct induction into lucid dreaming. It took Mark several tries. However, in the end, the method was remarkably successful. Are lucid dreams good for us? Nirit Sofer Dudek from Ben Gurion University in the Negev, Israel, asked this question in the article published in the Frontiers in Neuroscience journal. According to the researcher, techniques of deliberate lucid dreaming induction have become increasingly popular in recent years due to the frequent mention of the phenomenon in the media and popular culture. However, there's also a dark side to popularizing this phenomenon. Why do people want to voluntarily induce lucid dreams? Partly because they are tempted to enter an altered state of consciousness without the use of substances and to perform actions that are impossible in real life. Many scientists believe that lucid dreams have a positive effect on the human psyche, helping us overcome fear and heal, as well as develop creativity and resistance to stress. However, there are few studies on this topic, and their findings are ambiguous. Safar Dudek, on the other hand, suggests that frequent deliberate induction can be harmful to the dreamer's mental health. It leads to sleep disruption and in some cases can even erase the boundaries between reality and fantasy. Critical awareness is usually absent during normal sleep because our brain suppresses cortical activity during sleep. In lucid dreams, however, we try to resist this suppression, which in the case of frequent attempts can also hypothetically lead to potential health risks. Of particular risk is the popular sleep fragmentation technique. Some studies have shown that the snooze alarm function disrupts wakefulness and sleep cycles, and in cases of abuse leads to stress and depression. Whether the potential risks apply more or less to certain populations remain to be shown by further research. The article was published in January 2020 in Frontiers in Neuroscience. Happy birthday to Project Elijah! On November 29 in 2018, the Phase Research Center launched Project Elijah, the world's first inline resource for phase state research, including lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences. About 24 experiments have been completed so far, some of which have already been published in the scientific journals Dreaming and the International Journal of Dream Research. At present, data is being collected for 100 new studies regarding the practice, control, and application of phase states. Any practitioner of lucid dreaming and OBE can become a participant in the research. All they have to do is register to immediately receive their first task. Moreover, both beginners and experienced practitioners can participate in research. The project has collected an impressive database of free training materials on phase induction and maintenance techniques to make volunteers of all levels more effective. It's no secret that most practitioners view the phase experience as just meaningless fun, which is possibly why experienced practitioners often lose their motivation. Project Elijah not only solved these two important problems by offering practitioners interesting tasks to perform within the phase state, while making real contributions to the scientific community. If you experience lucid dreams at least once a month, our team invites you to join the project's research mission. Congratulations to the Project Elijah team, Michael Radoga, Andrei Sashkov, and Jana Janasova. We look forward to hearing more from them as their research comes to fruition. As you can see, our topic is actively developing. In order not to miss new discoveries, right now subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media, where we publish news daily. All links are in the description. See you next week.